My mother was born in muddy water. She crash-landed out the womb, dancing, with an itch in her bones so strong it might slap the sass out your mouth like the backhand of a hand grenade, because she learned early how to wrap her fists in concrete, and those fists never felt enough mercy to unclench. She also had a mean sense of humor. She brought herself up kicking rocks at the other weak kids, and by weak I mean poor, but you get it because those words like to pretend to be synonyms. Those kids, they weren't aware that the chips ripped right into their shoulders were bred special just for them, like the wool stripped off sheep. She shot straight out of a brick-and-mortar cannon blast and landed on the other side of a waterfall some folks call train tracks, and she never learned what it was people expected her to prove. She was a dirty, curly-cued, rat's nest gutter kid with a blinding smile strangling pent-up aggression she found lying on the ground somewhere between the day she learned to walk and the day the first person she loved laid hands on her. 6 feet off Canal Street, just down the road from the French Quarter, and if you don't know what down the road means, you've never been there. Her name was Jo. But I call her Mom. Which means brave woman in coon-ass. And if you don't know what coon-ass means, you never lived in Texas, because that's the name they pinned on me when I was a boy before I learned that words are like knives that cut so slowly you don't even know you're bleeding. She was born and raised in/around New Orleans, and New Orleans is like any other big city, except, the food is better. And the local dialect is nearly impossible to replicate, and the houses are painted in shades that only exist within the margins of a rainbow, and happy hour is a casual pastime, and the people seem happier, but that's just because they stop believing that life should be anything less than a good time. Outsiders call the city wild. With their eyes stretched out, they say, with reverence lining the back of their